What's up, YouTube? It's your homeboy Lee Sean Anderson, and we are back with another video. Dude, I'm still I'm still turned off of Roy Jones and his Mike Tyson fight. Man, September 12th, dude. I'm gonna watch it. And I also heard like one of the undercards is Nate Robinson. He's gonna fight like some guy off YouTube. What's his name? Luke Paul. I think his name Luke Paul or something like that. But I'll watch that. I'll watch Nate Robinson whip on somebody. It's like I'm sold. I was already sold on Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones. Dude, everybody is so sleeping on Roy Jones, because of all the fights that happened, outside of his prime. You gotta remember, Roy Jones in his prime was the coldest man on planet Earth. In the words of Roy Jones, y'all must have forgot. Like, everybody know Mike Tyson is a legend. Mike Tyson is probably one of the hardest hitters in boxing ever. You got Ernie Shavers. You got George Foreman. You can even say Deontay Wilder, even though he kind of got exposed in his last fight with the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury. But I still want to stand in his way. You know what I'm saying? But in Mike Tyson, of course, But y'all must forgot Roy Jones is probably, in my opinion, still the greatest light heavyweight champion of all time. There will never be another great light heavyweight, champ as Roy Jones. Look, Roy Jones was so bad. The number one rule of boxing is to protect yourself at all times. And Roy Jones was so bad, dude, that he had this move called the chicken wing. Because growing up in Florida, his daddy was a chicken farmer, so he stayed with chickens. And he had this move called the chicken wing, that he will put his hands behind his back and flap his elbows like a chicken and would just move his head around, right? And his opponents would try to run up on him because they like, all right, so you gonna disrespect me? You gonna put your hands behind your back? All right, I'm gonna light you up. And they would try to throw all kinds of haymakers towards Roy. And he would just whoop, 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 whoop. And the next thing you know, Roy Jones will come out and pop him dead with a right hook. Just bow. And homeboy would be on the ground. Like, Roy Jones was cold, dude. But y'all sleeping on Roy Jones, man. Roy Jones was like that fighter of the 90s, dude. Like, Roy Jones, oh my gosh, Roy Jones is bad. But hopefully this video right here is gonna be from Boxing Legends TV, Roy Jones Jr.'s highlights, greatest hits. In the words of Roy Jones, y'all must have forgot, dude, because Roy Jones was cold. I mean, I'ma still watch Tyson versus Jones. But I don't know. Hey, man, yo, just watch this video, man. Everybody knows, be like, oh, Mike Tyson. But I'm telling you, you only saying Mike Tyson because y'all must not, check Roy Jones Jr. history, or you too busy, looking at these other stuff with Roy Jones. Roy Jones was a bad dude. I don't know anybody colder than Jones.
Hi fans, welcome back to Greatest Hits here on Boxing Legends TV. Today we'll be taking a look at the 1990s fighter of the decade and former Olympic silver medalist Roy Jones Jr.
Oh man. Look at this chicken wing. Roy Jones.
Jones Jr. turned pro on May 6, 1989, just a few months after his Olympic efforts. He faced off with Ricky Randall at the Civic Center in Pensacola, Florida.
Roy Jones is a bad dude.
April 3rd, 1992. Roy had already racked up 16 wins, all by way of knockout, and was ready to square off with Art Serrano in Reno, Nevada.
Obey my commands, protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves now, let's get to it. Or was it featherweight part? And he lost on a 3-2 decision of the Olympic award.
Roy started fast, and after just a few seconds, it was apparent that Serrano would be lucky to make it to round 2. And that's when Roy landed the punch that would later be remembered as the exorcism of Serrano.
He says, I don't have to become nothing. I already damaged one.
Roy Jones, man, it was cold, dude. Said RP. Look how he fell, though. Not only he got knocked out, your ACL is gone.
May 22nd, 1993. Roy faced off with Bernard Hopkins for the vacant IBF middleweight title at the RFK Stadium in Washington, D.C. Both men had built up impressive winning streaks, Jones being undefeated in his 21 bouts, and Hopkins on a 22-fight win streak since a loss in his pro debut.
God bless, let's rock.
Trying to become Philadelphia's first middleweight champion ever, would you believe it? He's gaining confidence, but maybe he loses some after that right hand.
Bernard Hopkins, he was a monster too.
Spent 4 years in prison doing hard time for a chain snatcher.
Good combinations by Roy Jones. Right hand, left hook, and there's another left hook, right hand.
Right hand landed inside for Jones.
Again, an unorthodox punch, Jim. I mean, these are combinations I've never seen before.
After a closely contested fight, the decision was left to the judges at ringside.
To 112 for the winner by unanimous decision, and now the IBF middleweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr.
November 18th, 1994.
James
Roy
Toney.
faced off with rising star James Toney at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Personally, I
The fight
think
was being
James
built up
Toney,
as the
his
best middleweight
career,
fight of the night,
I think
with Jones being
he was so
undefeated in
overrated.
his 26
But
fights, and Toney
that's just
undefeated
me.
in his first 46 bouts. Some
I always say that people be like, dude, you know nothing about boxing. Hey, it is what it is. I thought it was
Quick right
overrated.
hand by Jones, and it looked okay there. Couple of body shots by Jones.
Not protecting his chin. He got him up there.
Tony hasn't found many openings.
And there was the quickness of Jones. Again, he made Tony miss and nailed him with two of those unorthodox punches. They come from all angles.
Roy started off better, throwing fast combinations and leaping left hooks in the opening rounds. And then, in round 3, he scored the first and only knockdown in the fight.
Showboating by Jones. He tempts fate, I think.
See?
And down goes Tony.
Roy Jones, dude.
Well, his shake never hit the canvas.
They're going to call it a knockdown anyway.
Being completely outsped.
And another reason why I say James Toney is overrated, because he's fought a lot of people, but every time he fought like a top tier dude, big name fighter,
Roy continued
always
to dominate
lost.
the fight, landing unorthodox punches from angles so unusual and unprecedented that even a defensive master like James Toney could do nothing about it. September 30th, 1995. Jones defended his IBF crown against rugged tough man Tony Thornton in his hometown of Pensacola, Florida.
Protect yourself at all times. Shake hands. Come out boxing at the bell.
Hard left hook by Jones. Protecting himself as Roy tries to come with another left hook. Now Roy gets fancy as he pulls off punches with the right hand.
Roy was having a punch-perfect performance in the first 2 rounds, and just on the bell, he landed a leaping left hook.
It was before the bell. It was before the bell. Thornton gets up easily.
Game over. Game over. He can't fight. He can't fight. Call it. Yep.
Utterly destroying an opponent who had never previously been knocked out in a 44-fight professional career.
That looked like about a 44-punch combination.
October 4th, 1996. Jones faced 16-0 unbeaten prospect Brian Brannon in Madison Square Gardens, and Brannon made his intentions known as soon as the first bell rang.
See the muscles bulging as he races across the ring. Launches a right to the body.
He's trying so hard to get that L.
Stands in a peekaboo as Brian Brannon throws about 8 weak
He's running to that L.
Although Brannon started explosively, it was clear that it had little effect on Jones, who simply sucked it up and then unleashed his own
See?
punches.
He ran to that L, dog.
Brannon having trouble for the moment, staying on his feet. Griffin watching closely. Jones blinding Brannon with his overwhelming hand speed. They were so psyched for the possibility of Brian putting up a big fight against Roy Jones. They managed.
Jones felt Brannon had taken enough punishment and that the ref should have stopped the fight, but Jones was told to continue, and so he did.
And then Jones says, look, you want more? Okay.
Jones, hey, Roy, he trying to show you mercy. He was like, ref, you ain't gonna call this. He
November
can't fight
22nd,
back. He's not fighting back.
Just 1 month after his KO over Brian Brannon, Jones decided it was time to move up from super middleweight to light heavyweight, and he challenged the three-weight world champion and respected 175-pounder Mike the Body Snatcher McCallum for the WBC interim title.
This boy can make you pay. Roy Jones can make you pay for dropping your hand.
As he just did there with a counter right over the top of McCallum's jab. Certainly McCallum is following his fight plan. Roy Jones lands a right cross. McCallum takes it pretty well.
Jones looked just as sharp and fast as he did at his previous weight and won a complete shutout on the judges' scorecards in a 12-round unanimous decision. March 21st, 1997. Jones faced undefeated WBC light heavyweight champion Montel Griffin at the Taj Mahal Casino in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Despite Roy scoring a knockdown in round 7, the judges rightfully had the fight even on the scorecards, and in round 9, Jones would lose his first fight at 35 due to what appeared to be an act of desperation, or perhaps just a mistake in the moment.
Jones looking to finish. Griffin wobbling a little bit. Jones comes in and lands the right hand lead again. And a couple of left hooks. And Griffin's knee goes down. And Jones lands 2 punches after Griffin's knee was on the canvas. And now Griffin slips forward. And Tony Perez starts the count.
We are being told
Disqualified.
Roy Jones is going to be disqualified and will lose his title.
Once they knee drop, you can't hit him.
They have no choice. Can they overrule the referee?
So
August
that's
7,
why he lost.
1997. Jones got his rematch against Montel Griffin and would silence critics as he scored a first-round knockout to win the WBC light
Very
heavyweight
much on the
championship.
defensive with 50 seconds to go in round number 1. Huge round from Roy Jones so far.
Roy Jones is playing the fainting game and Griffin is benefiting by it.
But when he dropped this time, he ain't punched him again.
Second knockdown of the round.
That was a leaping left hook and Griffin may not survive it.
He's got trouble. And that's that. Jones gets his vindication via a first round knockout.
April 25th,
Roy
1998.
Jones, man. Who
faced
quartered in
arguably the
Jones,
greatest light
dog?
heavyweight from the previous 10 years, Virgil Hill, who had made 22 title defenses at 175 pounds. The opening rounds were tentative, but Jones appeared to be getting the better of his man, and then in round 4, Jones would land a body shot that is still regarded today as one of the most brutal punches ever landed, breaking multiple ribs.
Virgil's making it difficult for him.
That is a big shot by Jones and a terrific shot. Hill may not be able to get up. He's acting as if he broke the rib. What a titanic shot by Roy Jones Jr. That's it.
One shot to the rib. Mike, look at it, he's still slumping down. What a shot.
What a bomb by Roy Jones. And a guy that is not putting fighters away with the right hand or with the one punch. You see the left hand
Everybody on Tyson, tip right now.
You learn something every time you
Hey,
see this
watch
video.
Roy Jones turn back the hands of time.
Punches would do to the chins of heavyweight.
I don't know.
Anybody in any division.
March 1st, 2003. Jones would make the leap from light heavy all the way up to heavyweight, taking on WBA world champion John Ruiz, who had won his title from the great Evander Holyfield just a year prior.
He's the best fighter in the world today, and he makes it look easy. But he's never been hit by a heavyweight. So when Roy Jones Jr. steps up to the ultimate division, when he takes on heavyweight champ John Ruiz, he better be ready. Or he's gonna learn they don't call him heavyweights for nothing.
I played a break, I want you to break. Step in. Let's go to work.
Right hand on the top by Jones. Already Jay Nagy has been very active.
When you can see Jones had that much time,
Nothing all out good. And Ruiz comes back with his own left hook and lands the first big right hand. And Jones lands a left in return. And they're fighting in the center of the ring.
Despite Jones suffering a 33-pound weight disadvantage, he had little problem in the fight and won a 12-round unanimous decision.
Sees the bout 118 to 110. All three.
Mr.
in favor
Untouchable,
of the winner,
dude.
Joining boxing's elite, the new WBA heavyweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr.
This would be Roy Jones' last graceful victory. Despite moving back down to light heavyweight in his next fight and defeating Antonio Tarver, Roy looked a shell of his prime self, and in their rematch, Roy suffered a brutal knockout defeat that he would never fully recover from. He lost 8 more fights to people he would most likely have destroyed in his prime, and won 14 against no notable names outside of a washed-up Felix Trinidad in 2008.
And that was his downfall. He kept going up
If
in
you
weight,
enjoyed
coming
this
down
content,
in
make
weight.
sure to leave a like as it really helps out our channel. Until next time, this is Boxing Legends TV signing off.
Yeah, and that was his downfall, dude. Like, Roy Jones' downfall was truly himself. He kept going up in weight, going down, going up. Cause when you really that cold, you think you can do it all. But it is what it is, unfortunately. But man, he did all of that, dropped an album. I mean, Roy Jones was simply the baddest dude on the planet, man. Yeah, man. Just in case y'all forgot how dope Roy Jones was, man, this is a reminder. So, September 12th, get that pay-per-view. Tyson versus Jones, dog. And, yeah, man, let me know in the comments if you're going to see it. If you're going to watch it, pay for it, or watch it at your buddy's house or whatnot at the bar. Hey, like, comment, and subscribe, because I know I will. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. All right. I'm out. Holla. All right.